Hey, this is Brook. Let's talk about small amps. My first amp was a K703. This is not my first amp, but it is a K703. It's got some old amp crud on me. Three instrument inputs. Number one, number two, number three. Volume and tone. That's your power. It's got a mod brand speaker, so it's kind of an updated speaker. Of course, we always get our grounded power cable put on, installed, and it's all updated and safe and everything. So we use these on our latest Surf Zombies album, Monster A Go Go, which we recorded live in the studio. And so my co-guitar player Ian really likes the K703. It does have some fancy, what do you call that, trim around and there's like glitter on it. It's a glittery kind of sparkle finish. It's pretty fancy, very light. And of course it sounds great when you crank it, but it's pretty mid-rangey. This is like a kit amp that I had. My local cabinet maker actually made the cabinet, and then I think we got a kit for the electronics, and my local amp builder finished it up. He puts in a grit switch, and here's your volume, goes to 12, two inputs, got some old tubes, old speaker, and I requested let's make sure we have a external speaker out so I can plug it into like a 412. So we'll have to try that sometime. This one sounds great, but it's kind of newer amps. For some reason, my ears just go to the older amps, but I do like this. It's totally usable, totally good for gigging. Let's look at some other stuff. Very portable. Here's the second amp I ever bought with my very own money. It's a 61 or 62 Princeton. You got your volume, tone, a real good tremolo. When I was a teenager, I noticed if you crank this up, it sounded like Aerosmith or Kiss. It just really rocks. One of my favorite amps. This is probably the second or third handle I've had on it. I tried different speakers. Got a little garbage in there. I collect at gigs to recycle or something. Got a few extra tubes in there. It's got the tube chart. Got an all-tone 1040 10-inch speaker. You got if you want to plug in a different cabinet, you can do that. Just power. Looks like two 6V6 output tubes. It's got the tube chart. Yeah, I used to walk beans in the summertime and get a check and then go buy an amp or something. Alright, this is one of I'm most excited about this small 1955 Champ. I got it for about half the price of others I was looking at. This one's got some nice wear. The tweed is scuffed up. All these amps sound good at a gig. You could, except that K is a little too small, but very good for playing like with a duo. Just plug this in. It's got a replaced speaker, which I like. A Weber. Got an old RCA, an old GE preamp tube. Some funky old tube here for the rectifier. And as usual, we've got the grounded power cable for safety. With this, it's just there's your on-off. This one goes to 12. Two inputs. Sounds amazing. I played a gig Saturday. I just turned it up to 4. I think I was playing a Strat. And it covered the room pretty good, but I did split it out with a, universal audio pedal into the PA just to make sure I covered the room. Here's a Silverface Champ. Perfect amp. I love the Silverface design. Got your volume, treble, and bass. No extra circuitry for reverb or tremolo, so they say that's more of a hard-hitting amp when you have less circuitry. I don't know. Less stuff for the signal to go through. Here's your on-off. Nice red jewel light. Two inputs. Looks like a stock speaker. This has been gone through, and I think these came with a grounded power cable. Looks like it's got the tube chart. I would like to take this out to a gig soon. Perfect little amp. I did play a block party one time and set up in the driveway and just used this to cover a small neighborhood. I don't know, I turned it up to about maybe, not all the way. I don't go to Nashville very much, but this was at Carter Vintage Guitar. It's a AC4 Vox 112 combo from 2014. It's got Celestion. I was testing out some guitars. I'm like, man, I gotta buy that. So, hard to beat the grill cloth, the gold and the white piping, the cool logo. I think this is 4 or 5 watts. I'm not really sure. You got your volume, treble, bass, gain, power. This is a pretty trebly, thin-sounding amp. I mean, it sounds good in certain applications, but it, you know, if you're used to these Fender amps, it does sound kind of strange. Here's a couple of 66 Vibro Champs, which have a really good vibrato. Again, you know, if I brought those to a gig, I would just use the output from like a Strymon pedal, which is dual outputs, plug into the amps. Turn them up to 3. Forget about it. You're good. So, I could probably exist with just these amps, except when I play with Surf. I've got a couple of 66 Deluxe Reverbs. This is the second one, number 2. That's a cardboard road case. Fun. So this amp to me is pretty big, you know, but I can still carry 2 of them. This one was in a flood, but we had it restored. Kind of restretched the Tolex. So with the Deluxe Reverb, you got your main volume. I usually turn these up to 3 or 4. Treble, depending on how it strikes my ears, maybe 4. Bass around 5. Reverb around 3. You can get your tremolo going if you want. Probably an aftermarket speaker or some old thing here. What do we got? Yeah, some weird old speaker I get from my speaker guy. Always updated power. This has got an original type on-off for the reverb and tremolo, which when that works is amazing. So yeah, great big old crazy speaker here. And you got your standby. Tube chart survives. Hard to beat a Deluxe Reverb. So we're getting back into Surf Zombies season. Usually I bring 2 of these at a Surf Zombies gig. 2 66 Deluxe Reverbs. And just use the dual outputs from my pedals again to plug them in. And basically don't worry about it. It covers, we play like some big downtown jams and stuff, or whatever, car shows. Just set these up, and usually we don't bother miking them, but if we're playing like a bigger festival, we might put mics on the guitar amps, but really not that necessary in my opinion. But if we play a bigger festival and there's a sound crew, they're gonna stick a mic on this, and that's fine. Whatever. Not that big of a deal, but yeah, man, the small amps really kind of make me happy. I can mix and match any of these if I want. Usually I bring 2 amps just in case one fails. They never do. These are super reliable. Amazingly, if you have them maintained, they work forever. So that's kind of where I live with the smaller amps. Deluxe Reverb is one of the bigger ones I'll haul. I do have a Super Reverb, And we'll look at that again sometime. It's getting fixed right now, or just some maintenance. So we'll compare those. I guess that's to me, a super reverb is pretty big. And we did look at the Marshall a while back. So what do you think? Do you like medium, smaller amps? Do you have new amps? Do you have custom built or small kind of boutique company amps? Or do you go with the Fenders and the big companies, Vox, Orange? What do you think? Digital amps? Or do you just go DI? Tell me what you think.